Hello and welcome everyone uh, to the last day of EPAM ZAD conference. It's a pleasure to be with you all here today. My name is Alexander Babko, and today we're going to talk about using an external hackathon as opportunity. So let me briefly introduce myself. I'm Alex. I'm managing innovative prototyping and proof of concepting at EPAM Made Real Lab. That's the place where we embody client ideas into tangible and believable and right fidelity prototypes. My background is in creative technology, in IoT, in mixed reality, creating next-gen experiences and products in multiple disciplines, from IoT to video games to all the way to mixed reality. So today we're going to talk about the virtual hackathon that we took part with the Garage community in Minsk and in St. Petersburg in this October. So for those of you who might not know, Estee Lauder, the world-known brand for cosmetics, and besides in EPAM clients, it runs a solid and multi-decade campaign to fight breast cancer, to raise awareness about this disease and to bring people together to either fight this disease or to prevent it, and to design and develop new ways to do it, with around $90 million being brought together since 1992 and invested into hundreds of research and medical initiatives and projects and multiple different directions. Recently, Estee Lauder has also introduced a new practice, a new approach, which is to actually engage technological community into the conversation and to try to find new technological ways to fight the breast cancer, which unfortunately is applicable and affects both males and females around the globe. So since a few years ago, it's been running also a technological hackathon, engaging technological partners from or universities or giants like Microsoft, Amazon, or EPAM, or Infosys or Salesforce to come up with creative technological solutions. So this year, eventually it was virtual, with more than 800 participants from around 18 countries submitting all over 92 solutions to the results of this hackathon. And we are so proud to be part of that. And this year, we just simply could not pass on this opportunity. And there were 3 teams from EPAM who took part in this challenge, and 2 of them were shortlisted to be finalists, getting recognition and awards. And one team, our team, that we organized from Minsk, and including our colleagues from other locations, we managed to win the grand prize with the concept of a device that we've built together and submitted as an innovative concept. So that's kind of the story that we want to share with you today. So I would really like to say that Estee Lauder takes super much seriously, because we had multiple sessions with doctors, with survivors who defeated this disease, and who were providing valuable feedback and took part in judging with juries, as well as sharing their experience in multiple sessions to properly tailor all the concepts that were submitted in the hackathon. So it's really good to be part of this meaningful direction, meaningful event. So when we decided to go into that, we actually wanted to achieve a few goals, and the first one for sure was to do something meaningful, to help, like to do something good to the world and be part of the technological innovation that helps to fight it. The second was to collaborate, to prove that that we actually can work as a cross-departmental, cross-regional group, designing and developing a physical product, which is complicated, but we managed to touch the first stage of that. And for sure, that's an opportunity. Once you are like part of business, no matter that you're doing this in your off hours, that's an opportunity to grow the portfolio and to grow the cases that you can always refer to. And for sure, that's a quality, motivating time that we had in mind to get while working on this hackathon. So once we decided that it makes sense to do something meaningful here, we stepped into whiteboarding space and challenged ourselves, how might we create a futuristic, technological, but not too far-fetching solution that may be applied to the world and may be applied to this challenge, to this problem, to raise awareness about breast cancer, to help to prevent it as much as possible, as early as possible, and eventually come up with different exercises, recommendations, or at some moment of time with telemedicine solution. So we brought together a team of talented engineers, creatives, prototypers, researchers, cross-disciplinary, cross-national team from Belarus, Russia, and Armenia. Those are guys that I believe are part of this conversation, part of this session today also. So it's Ian, Marina, Aram, Mikhail, and Raman, the core group that's went all the way from A to Z. And it was also super cool to receive the support of our team members across EPAM universe to help and to motivate and to develop further the idea. So that's our group that we brought together. So we had a few ideas in mind when we shortlisted all that. So the first one, which eventually ended up being designed in this hackathon, was the concept of a smart mirror with multiple hardware and software solutions on top of that, that helps to early detect the breast cancer. And another idea that is probably yet to be designed, yet to be discovered, is a concept of a wearable device that kind of simulates breastfeeding, because while doing the research stage, we found that breastfeeding helps to prevent breast cancer, and if such method is being applied either to male or female, it might be beneficial to avoid or like to postpone as much as possible the breast cancer. So with those two ideas in mind, we had a session with Estee Lauder organizers, and it was really hard to shortlist and to narrow one concept, but we ended up choosing the concept of a smart mirror that for us ticked all boxes of a physical plus software product that is actually not too far from existing in this world. So we started as prototypers because that's our nature in Garage, in Madria Lab. We started to prototype all that. So it all, we named it as a see-through mirror, like something that enables you to see the true part of things even beyond the actual site, which is a smart home use life science and like health industry device that enables early detection using sophisticated technology stack and hardware camera, hardware modules and setup that enables deeper and like more thorough view into a person's body, which is intended to be a home use device, not something like that can be integrated into a smartphone or something like that, because we understand that for patients or like potential patients, it's a very intimate procedure to do the health check, and many people really postpone it to be as long as possible, unfortunately, until it becomes sometimes too late. So we challenged ourselves, how might we integrate such health check and early detection and preventive measures under one flacon into something intimate, into something that is in everyone's home and parts of everyone's day-to-day life. And we ended up with a solution that is already part of everyone's life, which is a mirror, and it sits perfectly in everyone's bedroom. So what we would have to do then is to enrich and equip this device with the smart functions, with the smart hardware, and probably like replace basic mirror with a see-through smart mirror to enable that that detection. So a few words about the operating principle. No matter that's a POC, the low fidelity POC that we've built, the concept itself is pretty sophisticated and elaborated. We know that all the tools, they exist in the world, they work together, but maybe not yet brought together as an ensemble. But still, it did not stop us from envisioning this concept, where it has a high resolution camera that spots and detects abnormalities, color changes, and so on, with relying on computer vision. It has an infrared module that measures spot temperature, because that's very important, not to measure the whole setup, but with the dot by dot spot temperature. It has a lidar to analyze the shape and the form and changes of that. And eventually it has an interactive touchscreen, which everybody is used to, mixed reality component that enables projection of mixed reality lines or dots or marks or signs on the person's reflection in the mirror. And definitely the light sensor that enables monitoring and investigation on the same light conditions, which is important. But what we actually built was a mock-up to embody this idea and to deliver the concept that it's possible, it's feasible. We designed hardware architecture to know for sure what it would consist of, how one component would work with another, and what it would include. And to prove that it's already possible, it's just probably not yet being brought together. And we made it real, we made it believable with a couple of markers, with a mirror, with a mock-up of a camera, with a Henning setup, and with incentive and enthusiasm that was brought together to embody the idea. And moreover, we understand that the procedure is pretty intimate, and we would really need to be cautious about that. So we even hired and invited to our session, to our usability UX testing, the mannequin that actually served as a first potential user of that. And you can see the red lines and red dots on the reflection that we envision as something that the camera would identify and would mark person's body and person's shape to properly track that, to monitor that, and so that to align person into the actual shape of the mirror, to properly do the right postures, do the right actions. And since it's an interactive screen with some messaging appearing here and there, we also envision that to be given recommendations about healthy lifestyle or exercises or checks that might be applicable to this or that preventive measures. And we are sure that this kind of device, this kind of concept might also be a bridge to a telemedicine, where a remote doctor, especially in our post-COVID world, would be able to observe the client once the proper right is given to the doctor, and marking some dots, or like some areas that would need to be initially checked by a person, but then in case some abnormalities are really proven, then the person would be able to go to see the doctor in real life. So upon the submission of this work, we got really the highest possible recognition with the concept and with the team winning two major awards. One of them is recognition from Amazon that showed us validated our concept and proved that it's really viable and possible to build it, and with some small grant from Amazon to support the further development of the cloud parts of the solution. And eventually, the concept also was recognized by winning the grand prize, the first place, for the overall hackathon. That's super much excited about that level of recognition, and it proves that the idea is viable and it's possible to build it. So yeah, so we are extremely excited about that, and really looking forward to building it and to making that converting even to become reality. So after the hackathon, we did not just like put it aside. We continued the work, and once the interest and appetite was proven by the organizers from Estee Lauder part and internally by EPAM, we moved on with further prototyping of this potential concept, potential solution. We already received first feedback and first guidance and recommendation from doctors here in Belarus, as well as planning a session with doctors in the US, the same doctors who were parts of the hackathon, who already know this kind of solutions and who already work with using computer vision and machine learning in their day-to-day life to detect, to help them properly diagnose people in real life. And we are now at the stage where we're already estimating and planning the something working, like a mid fidelity POC, as we call it at Madria Lab, and plan to have it somewhat working and tangible closer to the February or March 2021, with the following something like a working prototype that proves core hypotheses and core principles. So for us, as we started with an opportunity, or like using the hackathon as an opportunity or as a chance, what it really meant to us, we actually managed to be part of the meaningful innovation, 100% following Garage approach at EPAM, which is 100% voluntary and 100% in free time, when people gather and dedicate their time, their attention to something meaningful, to meaningful innovation, at the same time rapid innovation. So that's awesome to be part of that and to contribute to a breast cancer-free world. And beyond that, we proved in practice the cross-company collaboration. Because initially we were thinking about the cross-collaboration between local group, but it ended up to be collaboration across EPAM with other members with other hackathon members who took part in the hackathon, and trying to find some overlaps and correlation between the solutions. We've proved the thought leadership, which is also very important in the tech world, especially receiving such level of recognition. And eventually had good time, had really high quality time across the weekends and off hours, and getting all that together. So thank you so much for your attention, for those who watch us live, for those who watch us in recorded, and feel free to reach out to us. Since we start to think about it as a bigger opportunity, we have a dedicated email specifically for this project. So shout outs if you have any ideas or incentives, and let's make this world better. Thank you. Oh, Emilia, I cannot really hear you. No, unfortunately, I cannot hear you. If anyone can hear Emilia, please let us know. But I remember that Emilia told me that we've had a couple questions. So first of all, the question was if we ever hold on. Yeah, if we ever estimated the potential cost for people who will be interested in buying it. So, well, the interest in that is like it's super high, because even on the next day after the hackathon was over, I received a few requests like, hey, where we can buy that, because the prototype was so believable that people really consider that to be already done. Like it's a market product, but so we had to like, hey, hold your horses. We've just spent a couple of days on it, so so that's why we are still quite far from that being an actual product, but we can say for sure that the technology matures with every single day, and once this product becomes a reality, the technology also becomes more ubiquitous, which will make it way more affordable than it could have been now with all the technological solutions that we have in place. So short answer, no, not yet. That's extremely too early. But we believe that 100% that will be a reality of our nearest few years. Yeah, and the second question that we received was if work on the idea could be continued. So yeah, for sure, the work is already continued. Are you working with Estee Lauder on the next steps? So what I would say that from organizers, which like, I don't know, can they be treated as Estee Lauder or like organizers of hackathon inside Estee Lauder? So at least from organizers from Estee Lauder committee, we constantly receive notifications and messages, hey, we're super excited to see that progressing, and we are working with them to establish conversation with doctors and with their IT leadership. Oh, Emilia, I can hear you.
Great.
To develop this further. So yeah, it's continued on all fronts.
Great, thank you for answering these questions. Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Now that I see.
So let me ask some mine. So how was it, and how long did it take you to develop this concept? Was it like 2 days, 2 weeks,
Yeah,
maybe more? That's quite interesting.
Yeah, well, the whole time frame that you were given were like 2 weeks. We developed 2 concepts. Well, shortlisted them within 1 day, and it took us 2 days to actually build the prototype to this level of fidelity. Yeah, and a couple more days like to bring the concept as a like to submit that as a work. So all in all, I think like that was shorter than a week, but in reality it was way less hours because it's been evenings and a few hours on Sundays.
I see.
It's dedication and enthusiasm that drives this all.
I was also wondering how you brought the people together, because you mentioned you thought it would be local, but I see that you have people from multiple locations in the team. But on the pictures, we saw the people like at one location gathering together, building something. That's wondering what were the challenges connected with this work with global networking?
Yeah. Um, well, the ideation part, that was 100% remote, because it indeed engaged, that stage indeed engaged people from across locations. So yeah, that was that. But when we actually had to build it, then that required going and bringing it all together. So that was until the next wave of quarantine hit us. So
I
that's
see.
why you wouldn't see people wearing masks, but now it's different. Yeah. So well, the remote world kind of remote mode made us think differently and act more quickly because we couldn't spend like days together in the same room. So
Oh,
that's why
yes.
we just had to do it within a few hours.
Oh, yes. I was also wondering, like, how did you do the ideation? Did you just use the brainstorm, or someone just came up with a brilliant idea, or you spent like some time researching? What was the mix?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
winning mix.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all about people and about intention to actually build something within, like against the clock, within super
Mhm.
short time frame. Because if it like following normal procedures, for sure it would take, I don't know, weeks before coming up with something, but it would have been like bulletproof and so on. But in our reality, in our case, that was way shorter. And there was like a nice point that I actually planned to do this offline, as creative session offline, with around like 20 people at least gathering in a forest or in some big room. But eventually the office was closed for such
Mhm.
big meetings, and everything was closed. So like we had no choice just to do it online. And I was really concerned about that, because when it comes to creativity, you really need to read the room, need to read the air, and to get the vibe, which is way more complicated when it's online, especially when people don't turn on cameras. Uh, but because of the dedication and some magic in place, we came up with these directions, quickly validated them with some basic research of solutions of something, because we didn't know much about breast cancer,
Mhm.
but across working on the concept stage, we learned a lot. We really understood that that's a serious disease, serious stuff, and with zillions of cases happening in the world every day. So, and that's why this kind of enhanced us to bring our minds together to find some solution.
Mhm. Thank you. That is really impressive. Probably, are you still looking for some volunteers who would like to join this project, or do
Yeah,
you already
absolutely.
have a
Well,
team? So who
well,
we are looking for before?
we have core group. That's what we have with this strong focus on mechanical engineering. But we are very much open to contributors and to collaborators in computer vision, in machine learning fields, because that's something that we know for sure is possible. We validated the concept with the computer vision machine learning experts. Like, I mean, that's not something out of this world. So we know for
Mhm.
sure that is possible. Have we designed and developed algorithms for that? Short answer, no. But we know for sure it's possible. because that's 2020 or like 2021 almost. So yeah, whatever engineering and data science related aspects, contributors are super welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I know now who should get recording, apart from the people who are here today. So thank you. As a reminder, the session has been recorded, so it will be shared with those who would like. If you would still like to get it and you didn't register for the event, you just entered from the main reception area, just please contact Alex or myself, or leave a message here, and we will also share the recording. So are there any last questions from the audience? Something maybe came to your mind that you'd like to ask? If not, we will be closing this session. Thank you, Alexander. It was really impressive, and I think we are all very happy that we have such initiatives and such people in EPAM, and that we can collaborate together.
Totally. So thank you, Emilia. Thank you, the whole team who've been working on this concept thus far and keep on doing that. That's amazing. Happy to be part of that. Thank you. Bye bye.